So I've been self-reflecting a lot on my journey over the past 10 years. And what I kind of realized is that for me, I've worked a full-time W-2. I've scaled a large real estate portfolio of up to 90 units at one point, currently around 51 units of real estate. But what I realized is that most people, they build a business first and then they take the money from that business to then buy real estate. But for me, I bought a bunch of real estate and now I'm creating a business around that real estate, with the coaching, the mentorship, and also the social media and brand building, right? So I've been reflecting my journey. I thought I did a little bit reverse compared to most people because, I work a W-2, which I guess you can consider my source of income. And then from that source of income, I bought real estate. And then over time, the real estate, appreciated. Most of the real estate that I own in California, which is where I started, it doesn't cash flow positive, but it appreciated a lot. So because of the built up equity and because of my high income W-2, my debt to income ratio was great. So when interest rates dropped, were like at 3% during COVID, I did a cash out refinance, pulled out a lot of my money tax free to then snowball it into more real estate, right? So, but now that my real estate is, I'm kind of focusing on stabilizing it now, just to see what it's like to own real estate. Because for me, I'm really bullish on real estate obviously, but I haven't owned real estate, relatively speaking, for that long, especially apartment complexes. I've owned it for about almost 3 years now. And I want to know what it's like to own a stabilized apartment complex to see if it's something that I like to do and it's something I want to continue to do, right? So for the first like 2.5 years of owning this apartment complex, I was focused on renovating it, fixing it up, turning the tenants. And since November of 2023, so it's November, December, January, so about 3 months now, this apartment complex has been stabilized. It's grossing, I think, $17,000-$18,000 a month. And I'm just still trying to finish off some loose ends, right? Like on my 26 unit, I still need to fix up the laundry room now. And then I need to pay off my general contracting fee of roughly $25,000. So I imagine it's going to take me another maybe 6 months-ish, so maybe middle of 2024. All those will be covered from the cash flow. And at that point, I'll start to see what it's like to own the real estate, right? Like how much am I cash flowing every month? I'm projecting around $8,000 to $10,000 a month, assuming I'm making $17,000-$18,000 and there's no major repair that needs to be done. So I want to know what it's like to really own that real estate, right? And then at that point, I may pivot where, okay, do I want to do a cash out refinance of my 26 unit and my 20 unit when interest rates drop down to then buy more real estate? Or do I want to focus on paying off my 26 unit and my 20 unit, which only has I think roughly $350,000 on it. So I mean, honestly, if I'm cash flowing $10,000 a month, for example, and let's just say in a year I'm cash flowing $120K, I could pay off these properties in like 3 years each if I take the excess cash flow and use it to pay off the loan. And now I'll own a 26 unit, a 20 unit apartment complex free and clear, that one will gross 18,000 and one will gross maybe 9 or 10,000, right? So basically, potentially, I could get $28,000 gross and have no debt on it. And then basically that's my income, or I could leave my W-2 job safely, securely, and then dive all into like my business, right? Like I'm doing coaching, mentorship. I'm thinking about being a real estate agent. If you listen to my channel for a long time, you know that I give real estate agents a hard time because most of them are terrible, and most of them don't own real estate. And the fact that I own a lot of real estate and the fact that I've bought a lot of real estate and sold some real estate now, I feel like I can make the process more transparent and simpler, right? And like you said, most people, they view real estate as like a job. But for me, I actually own real estate as an investor. So it's a different mentality when I actually invest in real estate myself. So let me know if I should be a realtor or not. I'm still on the fence about it. I was thinking of doing it just to represent myself, to buy my own house and maybe a couple friends and family here and there. Because I know I'm at the age now where a lot of my friends, cousins, peers, classmates, they're all wanting to buy a home now. And maybe I can represent them and, if it's easy. So let me know if I should go down that route. But in any case, so now that I own this real estate, it's giving me the time to pause. It's giving me the time to really know what it's like to own this real estate that's stabilized. And then, like I said, if I like it, I can cash out, refinance, continue to scale. Or I can say, you know what, I want to have an easier lifestyle. Let me focus on paying these down. And at that point, I have 2 free and clear apartment complexes that grows 28K a month. I can safely leave my job, or I could sell one of my single family homes. Honestly, one of my single family homes probably has around $600,000-$700,000 of equity, and they don't cash flow, right? At best they break even, or if I have like an expense, then I'm negative. I could take that. I think one has like $700,000 of equity in it. Let's say I take that, I sell it, and let's just, for simplicity, factor in taxes, all the fees to sell it and whatnot. Let's say I net $600,000. I could use that $600,000 to basically pay off one apartment complex and almost the other apartment complex, right? Or I'm also focused on buying a house for myself now to live in a primary residence, and I would want to pay off that primary residence as well. So once again, I could sell one of my investment properties, the single family homes, a lot of equity, sell that, and then basically funnel that equity into a large down payment for a house that I'm gonna live in here, because I want my payment to be low. So kind of moral of the story is, in the beginning I was focused on increasing my income, right? Like owning a lot of real estate, increasing my income. I think I make around $600,000 gross through all my real estate, plus you factor in my job, it's almost like 800,000 there. And then, but now I'm kind of focused on lowering my expenses a little bit, because for me, I learned that as I built my income up, my quality of life hasn't necessarily improved, but my quality of life would improve if my expenses went down, right? So what expenses am I trying to get rid of? I'm trying to get rid of some mortgage expenses. Like, if I don't mind working, like my W-2 for longer, I could take all my excess cash flow and pay off my 2 apartment complexes. Eventually, when I get my second lien note on my mobile home park of $450,000, I can take that money, I can pay off 1 apartment complex, I can pay off my 26 unit, own it free and clear, right? I can own it free and clear, not stress about it, pay off another one, or I can take that $450,000 and pay off my life insurance, right? Which I'm contributing about maybe $6,000 a month right now. So if I can pay off my life insurance, then I don't have to worry about $6,000 a month of income. Or I can take the $450,000 and do a large down payment in my primary residence, right? So overall, my goals are probably, I want to have a primary residence with a low manageable payment, so which will require a larger down payment, right? I want to pay off my 2 life insurance, whole life insurance policies, which I'm max funding for 7 years. I can do a video talking about that. And then I want to eventually pay off one of my apartment complexes, or both of them, and then own my primary residence free and clear. And once I have no life insurance to pay, 3 properties I own free and clear, 2 apartment complexes, my single family home, at that point it's like I'll never need to worry about money again, right? That's I'm hoping, if I do well in my coaching business, and I somehow blow up on YouTube and build a huge personal brand, I want to take that money and just dump it into paying off things that like I'll need. Like, I'll pay off my primary residence, I'll pay off an apartment complex, I'll pay off my life insurance, because I know that, like, with businesses, even social media, it's very fickle, right? Like, one day you might be big, and the next year or 2, you might be gone, right? So you gotta take that, allocate it in a way that improves your lifestyle long term, and you'll be okay. So to kind of summarize, I know I went a little bit all over, but I was focused on increasing my income through real estate. And now that I've built up a decent real estate portfolio, I want to see what it's like to own that real estate, focus on building up side businesses, right? Coaching, mentorship, YouTube, because those have very high potential and very low cost, right? Like, it's free to make these videos and free to upload. And then at that point, I want to focus on lowering my expenses, right? Have a primary residence payment that's manageable, right? I could move into one of my single family homes I own right now, right? But the problem is that I have to live in Orange County or in the Bay Area. I'm currently in Los Angeles, right? So maybe I can get a job eventually in Orange County. I can move into my house in Orange County, and the payment's not that bad. It's like $3,900 a month, which is doable, right? Or I can sell one of my houses, focus on lowering that primary residence cost, which is, you always need a place to live, right? And then focus on paying off my 2 life insurance policies. And at that point, I can comfortably leave my W-2, right? So that's why I'm like working my ass off right now. Like, I'm working W-2. I'm stabilizing further stabilizing my real estate. I am building up a business on the side with coaching, mentorship. And it's not easy, but I don't mind working right now. But if I have kids and a family and my priorities might want to change, I might want to say, you know what, I don't want to work anymore. I want to spend time with my kids. and I want to do what I want when I want and not listen to anybody, right? And I can only do that if my expenses are very low and my income is high enough to cover all my living expenses and have some margin, right? So I can achieve all that literally if I owned 2 apartment complexes paid off, primary residence paid off, both life insurance policies paid off, and other than that, I live pretty humbly, right? Like, I'll be honest, I live pretty humbly. I don't need fancy things. I can travel on a budget. I can enjoy food on a budget. You know, I don't need to fly first class. I'm fine going economy, right? So it's really identifying what I want, and I think this pause right now, when I'm not as busy, relatively speaking, it's giving me that clarity and how to make my next moves, right? So for the next few years, my next moves may not be buying more apartment complexes, right? It may be just trying to lower my expenses and pay these off. So hopefully you found value from this video. Hopefully it was insightful for you, gave you some value. Please post any questions or comments down below. Happy to answer those questions. And I hope to see you in the next one. And please share this video with somebody who would find value from this. And please subscribe. Thank you so much and have a good one.